Hey guys, welcome back. I'm back here with Brandon from MTR.
Hey.
Dude, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me.
Right on. And what we're doing is we're shooting some armor plating. Now, this is not your standard stuff. You've seen a lot of AR500 stuff. This is very different and very interesting. So we're gonna see how this performs and how it wears. Brandon's got it on right now. How comfortable is it? We're gonna explore all that. And of course, we're gonna shoot it. So stick around.
Good range of motion through it. This is very nice.
All right, guys, so we're gonna shoot this armor here in just a minute with at least 4 different rounds through 4 different guns to see how it performs. Now, they've got their rating on their website for how it's supposed to do against different grain weights, different velocities, etc. And we're gonna test all that tonight. We're also gonna tell you all about how this is different from other armor that's out there in the industry. And we're also gonna show you this. This is their little sort of back face deformation protector, you might say. It's their spall liner, basically. But what you would do is you would put this behind the plate itself, wear that inside the armor like that. This helps with that back force deformation to sort of protect the person wearing it, as well as to deal with any spalling that happens to come through. But that's one of the things they offer. Just wanted to throw that out here at the beginning. But kind of the thing that makes this the most interesting and the most unusual, Brandon, is probably the curve, right?
Yeah, the curve.
So tell us a little bit about that SAPI curve and why that's important, what that is.
What it does is it allows your chest to expand naturally. So when you take in big breaths, it's a natural curve to your body, and it gives you the ability to get more oxygen into your lungs.
It covers you a little nicer. It's way more comfortable, not only to walk around in, but which is important, but like you just said, as you're breathing, it's hugely different. Now, just a minute ago, I had Brandon try out both this plate right here, or this set of plates right here, as well as a more budget set of plates in the exact same carrier to kind of see how the two compared to one another. So tell us about your experience with that.
With this cut, you could see it forms. The biggest notice was right here. Okay. It doesn't wing out. Mm-hmm. It formed really nice. The other plate felt like I was getting pressure straight on the sternum. Okay. And it was very hard to breathe. After you get real active and you're taking in those deep breaths.
Okay, because it was a single curve to it. The big difference is that this, again, with that SAPI curve, is not simply wrapping around this way, you know, doing that kind of a curve, but it's also coming this way back as well and kind of wrapping down here. What that creates is almost a kind of a bowl shape inside of there for your chest to push in and push out as you're breathing, which it made a difference, right?
100%.
Now, I did wear this armor plate a little bit on a different trip, and so I wanted Brandon to do all the testing here tonight. It's good to get his feedback on it. Now, that SAPI curve, what's that typically used on?
It's on the ceramic plates that they're coming out with now.
Okay. And how much money you're going to spend on ceramic versus steel usually?
Anywhere from $500 to $1,000, depending on the manufacturer.
And you talking about for the front and back together?
No, per plate.
Per plate, you can spend $500
easily.
Whereas with steel, at least with these, and we'll go ahead and throw out the price point on these, about $150 per plate. Now, on some of the budget-friendly stuff, you can sometimes spend $150 for 2, and I've seen those prices before. In your opinion, is it worth it to go with $150 for 2 or $150 per in order to get this comfort?
The $150 per to get the comfort, hands down. All you have to do is wear it once.
The really interesting thing too about Premier Body Armor is that they've got a patent for this curve and for the process that makes this curve possible on steel. Nobody else is doing this. You see a lot of that single curve where it's, you know, pretty much flat going this way, but it's not the same as that SAPI curve, and you really do notice a difference with that comfort. What we're used to seeing on body armor is generally AR500 steel. This stuff is not made of that. That means it's thinner, it's lighter, and potentially stronger than AR500. This is made with made by a Swedish company called SAPI. This is their top premium steel. Again, Premier Body Armor is a little kind of secret saucy about what particular steel they like to say they're using, but this stuff is as hard or harder than AR500, and it's thinner and it's lighter. Talking about the weight, these particular plates right here, we weighed them earlier. What was this one coming in at?
7 pounds 1 ounce.
7 pounds 1 ounce is what I recall. And the other plate we tried, which was kind of the more budget friendly AR500, I think that was 8 pounds
10 ounces.
8 pounds 10 ounces.
Quite a bit of difference.
So when you put those two together, you know, front and back, you are saving 3 pounds ish with this by going with Premier Body Armor versus standard AR500. So weight savings, way better comfort, and penetration should be just as good. Again, we're going to test that here in just a second. The key thing, of course, is cost. Cost is a little bit higher with this, but in my opinion, it's worth it. Brandon?
Oh, no doubt.
Talking a little bit about the plate carrier that we have here. This is their Falcon plate carrier made of 1000D Cordura nylon. It's fairly standard as far as the MOLLE webbing on it, and we've got, you know, a field of Velcro, a loop, hook and loop back right there. As you can see, I've kind of attached a little Essie Izula right there, and it's mesh on the back as well, so it helps to get rid of that sweat a little more quickly.
Which I need.
Me too. I wore this out in the desert the other day, doing a lot of shooting. Found myself sweating a lot, but I also found this to be very breathable.
The biggest thing that I notice about the Falcon carrier is I prefer a bungee type connection between the front and the back.
Okay, so those are just plain old nylon.
Yep, nylon, and then just with your, you know, they're nice buckles. It's nice. Yep. A little bit more difficult to put on and off. Okay. But with the one that carries more of a bungee style, it's a little bit easier to get in and out. It's not bad. But I mean, then we talk about price point. It's a great price point for what you do get. Yeah, so talking about price point, to get into the Falcon plate carrier with 2 plates, you're spending, I think it's around $450, $460, something like that. So what that means is $300 or so for the pair of plates, around $150 or so for the carrier itself. And on the high end, that's pretty comparable with other stuff that's out there, would you say? Yes, absolutely. So yeah, especially given the fact that it's USA made, which is always nice. So Premier Body Armor does coat their plates very nicely. We've got a really nice spall coating on here with lots of good texture to it, and it's built up a fair bit. Now they do offer more of an extreme buildup if you want that. It does make it thicker, adds a tiny bit of weight to it as well, or just get kind of a standard setup as this one has. All right, guys, I think we've talked long enough. I really want to shoot this plate. I've been looking forward to this for like a month or so since I got this plate in the mail. And, it's going to be good. Yeah, we got a handful of guns here, a handful of rounds, and we're going to shoot them all in different spots to give a good representation of where they're landing. But without any further ado, let's get this thing in the rig. Yeah. And start nailing it. Guys, right now we've got the Anderson AM15 with its RF85 treatment on it, and we're shooting the XM855 round at our Durus 8000 plate. Let's see how this does. I have set up next to the plate 2 jugs of water. The idea there is to test the spalling coating on that plate. We've also got 1 jug of water directly behind the plate. If we get some penetration, hopefully we'll get some splashes behind the plate and be able to know right away. All right, let's get some lead down range. Oh, we got a little bit of a leak right here. A very slight leak. See that drip? Mm-hmm. All right, that tells me we got a little bit of spall coming through there, but I see nothing on this plate. I feel nothing by way of back face deformation. I don't even see a penetration point. It should be just right there, I guess. Is that it? That's it. That's it right there. Wow. Just a tiny little pinprick. Wow. And no, definitely did not punch through the other side.
M855 through the Durus 8000 totally captured it. Totally captured that thing. Let's do another hit. Totally just saw a spark. One more. All right, let's go take another look at it. After that sparking, I want to know if we penetrated or if we only, hit the metal and started getting sparks off of that. So we clearly pushed our base back just a little bit. It was right here. Nothing on the back. So it seems like we did not get any penetration. If we look at our plate, it looks like I went a little high for the next couple of rounds, so we got some breakage right there, or that could be spalling shooting out. Don't know for sure. But these seem to be our penetration points. And if you look at the back, come around to the back, no punching through, and only the slightest hint of back face deformation. Look at this though. Look across the top here. It looks like our spall liner is starting to break away a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And that's more or less the result of just the shock, I suppose. Let's move on to a 10-inch barrel AR with the M193. Let's put some of those right about here. And here's my 10-inch AR pistol, built on an Anderson lower. A bunch of other cool components that I'll talk about in another video. Let's go take a look at that first hit. Again, that was M193, known for being very high velocity. Oh, we got a little bit of spall breaking through right here. Check it out.
Oh, yep.
Small amount. It's not gushing, but who knows? Who knows how deep that would go? So it's worth pointing out. And that is our penetration point right there. Just another little pinprick. And then if we look at the back face, barely, I don't think I feel anything at all actually. Definitely did not penetrate, and I don't really feel anything. You can see some shredding right there.
Oh yeah.
All that. So what that's telling me is that the round's got enough velocity that when it hits that steel, it does break apart, and some of that is coming out through the spall liner. All right, let's get a handful more rounds of that M193 on there. See how it holds up. On the M193 through a 10-inch barrel, I think the average was 2,800 feet per second. So that's definitely less than the XM855 through the 16-inch barrel, which was about 3,050 feet per second. We are seeing a lot of breakage of the spall liner though. Check that out. We are more or less shredded up top here.
Oh yeah.
Breaking away. Got all that lead down in there and probably glue from the spall liner. I gotta tell you, I'm real pleased with how my cheap little thrown together rig is doing though. I literally designed this thing in about 30 seconds and threw it together in about 30 minutes. So it's nice to see that it's holding up. Back face, I still don't feel anything there. If anything at all, it's very, very minor. And our water jug, we got a bit of shrapnel right there.
Yep. So
we got some penetration from it. And we could have some new holes. I'm not positive. I think we do though. Now that we've seen what the 2 AR rounds can do, let's step it up. AK and then some 308. All right, what we've got here is the Century Arms M70 ABM And this gun right here, we're going to be shooting the 122 grain hollow point Tula, and that is moving at a velocity of around 2458 on average. So how will this plate do in stopping that? My guess is it'll do just fine, but let's slap it a few times and just find out. Okay, that's one hit. Let's give it a look. We should be connecting right around here. Yeah, I can feel that that's about where it hit. And we turned that water jug a little bit with that hit. So we got a little more, might have had a little more of a stall encounter as well. Nothing on this side because it was mainly captured and went out here. It looks like all that has opened up now on this side. All that spawning.
Yep.
So that's good to know. Next few hits, what we're going to do is turn it this way and see if we continue to get some of that shredding. If we get a new hole like that on this side. Be interesting to see. Back face, let's take a look at that. This is approximately where it hit, right where my finger is. I can feel that bump. So we definitely have some slight deformation, but again, probably imperceptible on camera. Maybe you can just barely see that, but it's very slight. And I can just barely feel it with my finger. Again, that was just one hit of 122 grain, going at about 2450 or so. Now let's go ahead and slap it with, I don't know, 3 or 4 more, see what kind of damage we get. Okay, we definitely got more spall coming out of here. Look at that side right there. Come around here, Brandon. Check that out.
Oh, yeah.
So this is more or less done for. Now, keep in mind that was not simply from the AK. Oh, and check that out. Shredding my 2x4 also.
Yep.
That was not simply a result of the AK. If this was a pristine plate and it had not been shot with anything up to this point, my guess is the first couple of rounds probably would have stopped, you know, probably all the spalling would have stopped, or at least it would have been minimal. It's only the sort of the accumulation of all the hits that it's taken thus far to knock so much of this spall liner loose that now we've got all this spall coming through. But we're not done. We need to hit this thing with some 7.62 by 51 M80 ball. This is where I'm hoping to kill this thing. It may still hold up, and it is, they say it's rated to hold up to it. I guess we'll find out for sure in just a minute, but let's do our best. Let's put some rounds down range with that M80 ball. Now we've got the Savage Model 11 Scout in an 18-inch barrel. Shoots 308 and 7.62 by 51, so we're going to go ahead and put some of those rounds through it. See if we can kill that plate. Woo, there goes the spall. Oh my gosh, that's our impact point right there. Now as you can see, our spall liner right here, all that build-up coating, the spall coating for it, that's so peeled away right now that we're not really going to be able to do anything with it anymore. However, the plate itself, with some pretty tactile, pretty noticeable deformation right here. Again, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up, but it's right there. I got my finger on it. It's very easy to feel. There it is, one shot, stopped it dead, and no breakage on the back. Our water bottle back here knocked over, but that's it. That is it. Coming back to the plate, you can see a pretty clear dent right there, and you can see the spread of all that spall. And looking at our jug, I think that is all from that shot right then, from the M80. But that was just one hit. Let's put maybe 4 more on there and see if we can damage it. 3. I heard that one loud and clear. I think we may have done it. I can't tell for sure. Let's go take a close look at it. See that hole? There's a hole too.
Not taking that home.
Yep.
What size of hole is that?
It's about a 7.62 millimeter size hole.
Hey, all I could see is a great grouping.
There's the back. There's my shredded rig. Honestly, I'm not the least bit disappointed in what this has done. For it to hold up to all the rounds we tried punching through it, again, we had M855 going 3,025 feet per second. We had at least 5 or so rounds in the same spot. Then M193 through a 10-inch going 2,800 feet per second, about 5 rounds in the same spot. The AK round, 122 grain, doing 2,450 or so feet per second in the same spot over and over. It stopped. It kept stopping them, It took multiple hits of that 7.62x51 at 2,700 feet per second plus in order to punch through this plate. Right now is a good time to look at that thickness, by the way, since we've got that spall liner completely pulled off of it, and a few markings probably from the folks that make the stuff. But there's the back side of it. Again, totally gone. But you can see that that is perfectly finished along all the edges. So they really take their time with this stuff, make sure that it's good quality, that it's durable, that it's not going to be fraying and abrading the edges of that that spall coating. So it's nicely finished, nicely rounded, as you can tell. It's got that really nice SAPI curve on it, even through those little bit of indentations that I feel in different spots. Still, you can feel that curve on there. And that thinness of that plate is really what helps you save that weight. But even with that thinness, we have all the strength of your standard, and then some, of your standard AR500 armor, while saving £1.50 or so per plate, which is great. Well, we did it, we punched through it, but I think, like I said before, I think this plate held up to its end of the bargain. It did the job it was supposed to do. I have no qualms about recommending it. Again, guys, go to premierbodyarmor.com to check these things out. You can use my coupon code, actually, TLBS, to get you free shipping. I'm late Boy Scout, Brandon, MTR, Modern Threat Response and American Fork. Check him out as well. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys later.